The career plan. When you're working on your budding career, it is a good idea to have a plan. The plan may not hold all the way, but fortunately, you can just change it. It's your plan, and you decide what it's about. The important thing is that you have one. You don't have to be particularly goal-oriented or focused on just one goal. You can easily have a plan, even if you may not quite know what you want to do after graduation. The point is that with the career plan, you start training your imagination and consciously reflect on the future you are facing. A career plan is thus an opportunity to draw a route on a career map which contains the directions you see for yourself right now. The map shows you a direction and becomes a plan that you can stick to when in doubt or when faced with making new choices. During your education, you must make choices about courses, specializations, project partners, and student jobs. When you graduate, the choices can be about which opportunities to seek, which to accept or reject, and how your choices can create a foundation and become a stepping stone for further opportunities in your working life. There are not any wrong choices, but there are choices that are unreflected and more random, and then there are choices that are more reflected and planned. Choices that you make on a more enlightened basis. Along the way in your studies, you have the opportunity to confirm or refute some of the hypotheses you may have about yourself and your future career. If, for example, you have an idea that you would like to work within HR, then through your studies you can seek out situations where you can test that hypothesis. It could be through student jobs, volunteer working, or perhaps a project-oriented course at a company where you can try it out and then reflect on whether your hypothesis held up and how the experience gave you an insight into how you would like to work with HR or how you definitely do not want to work. In other words, you can get a better basis for making subsequent choices both during and after your education. So, try to think about what hypotheses you have about yourself, your profession, and your first job, and how you can start testing them. You should also remember that you are at the beginning of your career. You are just about to start a long working life, and after graduation, you're not looking to find the job, but your first job of many. You will change career path along the way depending on what the world and society needs, what you find exciting, and what skills, knowledge, and experience that you have developed. There may be many things that look one way when viewed from a distance from your study at the university, but you can also be hit by reality and by life as such and suddenly find yourself in a job that you in no way can imagine right now. Both researchers and labor market experts expect that as the future generation, you will experience at least 3 major career changes, and probably more, due to both longer life expectancy, development of technology, demands in the labor market, and unpredictability concerning the skills in demand. In addition, you will probably, through your career, have the opportunity to further educate yourself and acquire new skills to adapt to demand, societal development, and your motivation and interest. You will have to learn throughout your life, and you are building a good foundation for being able to do so through your education. A career plan thus helps you qualify your choices and set a direction when there are several roads to take on the map. Making a plan and setting goals creates momentum and helps guide your behavior, why it's good to set specific goals in your career plan. Your future and your career are not creating themselves. You are largely involved in creating it. A career plan, therefore, gives you control and a guideline and forces you to make some active choices. It also means you have an influence on your future and what a good path is for you. You will also get somewhere in your career even if you do not consciously reflect on it. It will just be other and more random factors that make the important decisions on your behalf. You should be aware that the terrain and the map are not always matching. That is, the reality, for various reasons, may look different than when you planned your direction and made the map. In those situations, you must follow the terrain instead of the map. This means that you must revise your career plan concerning how you move forward in the new reality and the new terrain that unfolds before you. There is a concept called planned happenstance, which is about putting yourself in a position so you are present when opportunities arise. In other words, if you sit inactive at home on the couch waiting for opportunities to arise, you will probably be disappointed. But if, for example, you make sure to participate in relevant conferences and workshops, engage in online professional debates, talk to others about your profession and your wishes, or if you have an active profile on platforms such as LinkedIn, then you have put yourself in a position where you act proactively and can thus learn about new opportunities. You will therefore act in a more planned and less random window of opportunity that gives you new possibilities and probably a new direction in your career. When you think about your career plan, you can compare it to your study plan and the steps you take along the way. In other words, you can draw on the experience you have with your study plans when creating your career plan. Think about how your study plan has had and still has different steps that you must follow, consider, and set a direction to. Your studies consist of semesters with different content, where along the way you have to make choices about elective courses, project topics, and choices of project collaboration and specializations. This means that during your studies, you have some milestones where you have to reflect on which directions you now want to go. It requires that you relate your motivation to the opportunities that exist and that you seek knowledge in order to make your choices on a more informed basis. In other words, you need to prepare yourself and make independent decisions based on your learning and career goals. And you need to look at the other areas where you want to improve to increase the likelihood of your plan succeeding. Your study plan and your career plan are therefore connected. For the direction you take and the choices you make along the way in your study can help show you the stepping stones in your emerging career plan. A career plan can be large and comprehensive, but it can also be short and concise. The most important thing is that you take the first steps and start formulating your own plan. So bring out the map, pencil, and compass and start imagining and planning your trip. Good luck!